Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. Oh buddy, it is finally here. It's been a long time coming, but the Given OVA is finally here. So I actually, through a fellow patron, ordered the Given OVA that's going to be coming with manga volume 7, the Japanese manga volume that just came out. But unfortunately, it's not quite got here yet. But I was originally going to wait until it got here and then I'd be able to show you guys volume 7 and show you the OVA and what it looks like, but it's not here yet. And I've had a lot of people being like, Given OVA. And I'm like, I know, I want to see it too. And I was like, I'll just wait till the English sub's out. It'll take them a couple weeks. Nah, y'all are pretty fast. Y'all are like, we got the English subs out now. And I was like, okay. So I am going to be reacting. This was a fan sub that was sent to me. The only thing that Wushin on Patreon, thank you for sending me this fan sub. And also Sarah Linda. Sarah Linda told me about a fan sub on Twitter as well. So Sarah Linda, Wushin, thank you both for helping me out and finding the English subs for the Given OVA. The only thing that was noted with this sub version is that at one point, instead of saying Uenoyama's sister, it says brother. But I'm like, I'll get what that is. As long as I talked in the soapbox that I recently posted for Given about manga volumes 1 through 6. So I know all the missing scenes that weren't in the movie. The question is, one, how they're going to compile them all together. Because that was my one thing. This thing's 23 minutes long. So I was like, how are they going to compile all these extra little scenes and weave them together and make them coherent and kind of work as a standalone OVA to complement the movie? That was my first question. And then the other thing was, what's it going to be like animated? So, and having the VAs too. So it's been a long time since I've seen anything animated for Given. It's been almost a year, y'all, since, I mean, maybe not a year. It's been several months since I've seen the movie. I guess it came out this spring, but it's probably been 6 or 7 months since I've seen it. So it's been over half a year without any Given animated content. And like I talked in the soapbox, I think that once Kizu eventually has enough material, they'll make a season 2. I think as popular as Given is and how mainstream it's become, I am thinking and I'm hopeful that once she has enough material, they'll announce a season 2 and they'll start production on it. If it takes another half a year to a year to get that accomplished, it's worth it. I'll wait because I want to see it animated, especially knowing how good the manga is right now. So I'm pretty excited. I was going to wait. So if you follow me on Twitter, I'll probably be posting when the volume comes in, pictures of it and the OVA if you're curious, you know. But it is on its way. So I am supporting the official release. But I do appreciate the people that did the fan subs. My plan originally was once I got the OVA in to watch it and I just wouldn't have any subs. I would just have to guess what they're saying, but I would kind of have an idea. This is very helpful. So thank you. But yeah, let's dive in, y'all. I'm super excited. I put on my Given shirt. I was ready. I was like, once this is on, it's like, it is time to watch some Given. So I'm so excited. But yeah, let's do this, shall we? We'll talk about it and then we'll come back. We'll watch the reaction and then talk about it at the end. But we are going to start the Given OVA here in 3, 2, 1. I'm so excited. Let's go. Oh my gosh. That was great. Oh, that was so good. That was, I was wondering how they were going to they really tied everything together. They tied all the extras from basically volumes 1 through 5 together that weren't shown in the anime or in the movie. So I'm actually really impressed. The one thing about Given that I've noticed is they find a way to not only tie in the main plot of the story, but they tie in like lots of the extras as well. I think the only thing we maybe didn't see was Taki-chan being like, do not date Kaji. And Haruki's like, too late. And so maybe that's the only part that we didn't see animated here. But yeah, everything, so good. Like from the cicadas, the boys. Hiiragi, I love our diva. Hiiragi and I share a birthday, so Hiiragi is special to me, but he is such a diva. I love him getting to be like really cocky and confident in public. Like when he's up on the stage announcing their win, be like, we knew we could do it. It's like, she. It's weird that they call it she because it's SYH, and it's like the H being at the end is odd to me as an English person. I'm like, it being called she and being like sigh. It's spelled in English like sigh in a weird way, but it's pronounced she. It's odd. But of course it's you know, Shizasumi and Yuki and Hiiragi. But Shizasumi, I get reminded in this OVA that he's so mysterious. He's so mysterious and kind of dark and quiet. And at the end, it's a nice there's some subtle foreshadowing in this moment. If you've read the manga, you see the subtle foreshadowing watching it animated. I really like that. There's lots of foreshadowing to the manga in this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some manga spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, there are going to be some light spoilers. I'm not going to get too crazy with it. But Shizasumi, there's some foreshadowing with him in this. Not only when how he looks at Mafuyu being like, your boyfriend, huh? And you can tell like later on he's going to talk to Mafuyu and Uenoyama separately about this. But also when Hiiragi like goes for the high five, Shizasumi like grabs his hand. He doesn't high five him, he like embraces it. It's like such a representation of Shizumi's emotions towards Hiiragi, his feelings of him. He's not going to just like high five just for funsies. He's like, no, we're together. Like, Shizasumi doesn't have to announce it. He's like, we're together. And y'all know. Shizasumi's such an odd character, but he's like so dark and brooding and like intimidating. And Hiragi's like, I'm a diva. And the part where him and Uenoyama are like arguing and the cats pop up in the flames. I like that Hiragi's got this tiger cat and it's like, meh. And Uenoyama's cat is like shaking in the corner. I've said this in the soapbox, and I've said this with Given. Uenoyama is such a refreshing kind of protagonist in the sense that from the outside, when you first meet his character, you think he's going to be like this too cool for school, super brash, super bold guy that I'm way cool, chill, I've got everything under control. Uenoyama is the opposite of control. He has nothing under control. His emotions are like a storm raging inside of him, and he has trouble kind of like him and Mafuyu both have trouble communicating, and that's the biggest part of the manga right now, is that our couples, you have Hiiragi and Haruki, who are older and more mature, and they've been in relationships before, and so their communication comes a lot easier. You have Ataya and Uechi, who are like, they're BFFs in sports anime world. In sports anime world, we're all couples, but we have no problems, because none of it's canon. I say that. I'm really hoping that Kizu gives Ataya and Uechi some much needed screen time, and they can be like our first canonical BL sports anime couple. That's like canonically, yes, they are. After suffering through Haikyuu and other anime series, it's like, well, you could ship them together, but nothing's canon. It's like just Kizu. No one else will do it. I know Kizu's a Haikyuu fan. Kizu, give me an animated like completely canon BL sports anime couple. I know you could argue that Kakeru and Haiji are in Run with the Wind, but it's nothing set in stone, right? I want something official. I want it official. But yeah, so I like that Uenoyama, he's so whipped. Him and Kaji are so whipped. They're just like just at the end there. I love that Kaji prostrating, Akihiko prostrating himself before them, being like, please let me have Haruki. And Uenoyama being like, no! It's gonna ruin the band! Too late! So, I love it. I love it. Ataya, I get reminded that he's such a freaking ray of sunshine. I love that Ataya has he's eating the same bread that Nagisa from Free is eating, like the Iwatobi-chan bread, like the surprise bread. He's eating the same kind of bread. I like to think that Given is occurring in the same realm as Free. Like they're in the same universe, and that Ataya, his team, may possibly see the swim team at a meet somewhere. Or he's met Kasumi. In my head canon, Kasumi and Ataya have met before and played basketball. Even though Ataya also does soccer. So maybe Wechi's played him. But there's a really good conversation in this OVA about communication. And like I said, that's Mafuyu and Uenoyama's biggest struggle, because this is Uenoyama's first relationship. This is Mafuyu's second. And the thing about Mafuyu's first relationship was that him and Yuki were so close and basically attached to the hip and were each other's soulmate, essentially, that their communication was like on another level. Like even Hiiragi notes, he's like, they were like in their own little world. They weren't like the rest of us humans, right? They were in their own universe doing their own thing. And so it's different, but Uenoyama is not like that. He's not exactly on the same wavelength as Mafuyu. And I like that. I like that Kizu presents this relationship where they're not soulmates technically. They're not made out to be soulmates. They're just two people that fell in love. And they have their struggles like any other couple. But for Uenoyama, this is his first relationship. So he's trying to test the waters and navigate through what to do in certain situations. So when your significant other leaves you on read, leaves you on red for a day and a half, yeah, you probably should be frustrated. My thing is, why didn't he just call? That's, the frustrating thing. He gets so in his own head, and he's like, Mafuyu's not talking to me. He's at Kaji's house. It's like, you could have just called and checked in with him, but they're teenage boys, and it's his first relationship, and he's letting it get to his head. And it's like, no. It's like, come on, dude. But yeah, and they don't communicate. And Mafuyu struggles to communicate anyway, so he's like kind of quiet anyway. So I love the classroom scene where they confront each other, because Mafuyu is worried that this is going to be like a Yuki 2.0, and that's kind of his big worry about this whole relationship. He's so traumatized by what happened between him and Yuki, by them having their argument, and from Yuki committing suicide. He's so traumatized by it that he's afraid the same thing's going to happen with Uenoyama. So he either doubles down like he does here and is like, I need you to talk to me because I don't want the past to repeat itself, or he distances himself from Uenoyama because he doesn't want the past to repeat itself. It's like he can't find that communication with Uenoyama to talk about it. And in the clock scene, Uenoyama kind of hits it on the head. He's like, I don't know much about your past. I'm like, then you guys need to talk about his past. Like, if that's something that concerns you, right? But I like that Uenoyama and him have this honest conversation in the classroom. And the way that the camera kind of shakes and moves. The movement in this is very fluid. Like Uenoyama grabbing him and moving him towards him, and hugging him and embracing him. And Mafuyu's expression when he's afraid it might turn out wrong again. It's so fluid. Like, it works so well when he embraces him. And then Uenoyama's like, I'm being lame. And then, yeah, he goes to kiss him, and it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it. That part of the manga is like one of my favorites, and it's such a nice little scene. But that damn curtain blocking the way. Nah. And then, yeah, the whole festival scene, that was handled really well. That was great. And then I made the comment in the episode, in the US, our slumber parties are a little different. But being respectful, he has the futon. And granted, it's 12:30 on a school night. These are teenage boys. They got school the next day. They are at least being responsible. But I love that Uenoyama's like, I don't like seeing you about to cry, and I want you to know that I'm here for you. I don't want you to be alone. And I want you to feel like you're alone when I'm here. He's like, I need you to, you can open up to me. It's fine. And Mafuyu's just like, I'm still trying to come to grips with it all myself. And so opening up to you, I want to, but I don't know how. Mafuyu's singing is an excellent representation of his communication. Like, when he finally figures it all out and communicates and sings, it's perfect. But Mafuyu, it takes a long time for him to kind of find the words and figure out what to say. And in Uenoyama's case, it's especially hard because he's dealing with the loss of Yuki, who's like his soulmate. And what do you do? What do you say? He's like, I'm trying to figure it out myself. So talking to another person about it's really difficult. And that's kind of Mafuyu's big thing. And so I feel like Kizu, the whole thing with Mafuyu and Uenoyama, their big conflict is going to be talking to each other about the past and moving forward from that. Because, like I've talked to several of you, Mafuyu, when you lose someone the way that he lost Yuki, and it's someone like Yuki, I don't know if Mafuyu will ever get over Yuki. And getting over someone, and I think that's fine. If you loved someone to that extent, he doesn't want to forget about him. That kind of goes back to the whole flashback on the beach. He doesn't want to forget Yuki. And Yuki tells him he's going to, and he's like, nah. So I always think there's going to be a part of Yuki that Mafuyu keeps with him, whether it's the guitar, whether it's whatever. But in the same vein, he's trying to move forward and deal with these feelings he has towards Uenoyama, and they just need to communicate. And it's just not fully happening yet, right? Right? So, But yeah, I love the way that they tied everything together for this. It was awesome. They tied together the band, the parts from the movie. I like that they weaved in the concert and everything, the scheduling. They just kind of, it's like as if this was like the B-side of a record. Like the movie was A-side, this is B-side. It's like everything that was happening in between. I really like it. I like the way that they compiled all of these together. And then the acapella, him singing in the secret spot. I thought for a second, I couldn't remember if this was anime only or not. I can't remember it from the manga, but I thought for a second he was going to sing the new song that's in the credits. But no, it's the Dawn Breaking song. It's that song, just the acapella version. And oh my gosh, He has such a beautiful voice. He has such a beautiful voice. In acapella, I was like, it's so... I've watched a video where he sung acapella in the studio. I've watched a recording of that, and it was really good. And this is... again, I've talked about the live action series. I did a 10 under 10 of it a while back, like earlier in November. And the guy that played Mafuyu for the live action, he's a singer and he's fine. He's not the same. Not the same. No, nothing can top it. And I love that they brought the song back into this to tie it in with the movie. I like that we got the end credit song. It's great. The only thing I'm really upset about in this, and it's no shame of the anime, because they'd have to do a whole lot for it, but we don't get to hear Hiiragi. That's the one thing. If we get a season 2 of Given, the one thing I'm excited about and the one thing I want to hear is Hiiragi singing. I've seen clips and listened to clips of the voice actor for Hiiragi singing, and he has a good voice, but the way that they describe it in the manga and in here is they describe Hiiragi as dazzling, that he has true star talent. He could be a producer. He's got real talent, real skill. He's got star power. He's a great singer. And that's what kind of draws in the manga in volume 6. It draws Uenoyama to wanting to play with them, is because Hiragi's so like dazzling. And that's why Shizu's drawn to him, because he's dazzling. So if anything, I want in season 2 for us to get a solo performance with Hiiragi, or at least to hear him singing, right? That's what I want. And to see why Uenoyama wants to sing with them and to get the full effect, right? But yeah, I also want to note that Hiiragi and Shizu, they're wearing purple and green. They're wearing complementary colors, the purple and green. And Uenoyama and Mafuyu are wearing orange and blue, which are complementary colors as well. Just saying. I'm just saying, it's a nice little color symbolism there. I like it. And then, yeah, Mafuyu introducing Uenoyama as his boyfriend, and Shizu's like, huh. And Hiragi's just like, really? I love the lightning bolt. My favorite part may be the fire, yeah, and Uenoyama's kitten. Like, Hiiragi is intimidating. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then, yeah, just Uenoyama pointing at Hiiragi like, why are you friends with him? I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I get it. He's like, I get it. And then, yeah, him talking about them playing, and then he just like flips off the camera. It's like, Hiiragi, you diva princess. I freaking love it. But yeah, we tie back in the movie, the embrace with Mafuyu and them. I love it. I love the hug. I love the little shoulder rub that Mafuyu gives with his head. It's great. We get to hear she being announced. Yep. And then I love the end of them holding hands. Mafuyu and Uenoyama holding hands as they announce the winners. And Uenoyama being like, it's going to be fine. You got to convey your song to everybody. And then I love Mafuyu drawing apart. He's like, it's the parallel of him letting go of the fingers of Yuki and him grasping tighter onto Uenoyama, as he remembers the letting go of Yuki, and he grasps tighter to Uenoyama's hands. It's like, yes, show all the contrast, all the parallels, all the symbolism. I'm here for it. I love it. It's great. Yeah. And Mafuyu just being happy that Uenoyama's pretty normal in this, right? Pretty much his normal self. If you've read the manga, there's angst going on right now, so it's good to see them, good to see everything back in happy times. And then, yeah, I really love the credits, the end credits. They had to show us that image of Mafuyu with the guitar on the bus, like with Yuki. Why? Because they like to see us suffer just a little bit. They're like, you've had a really fun time with this OVA. You need to suffer just a little teensy bit. But I love the seasons, right? So it kind of relates to their old band name, Haruki and Akihiko, and Uenoyama's band name, Seasons, and now it's Given. I like that we have Mafuyu representing winter, him and Yuki, which Yuki represents snow, representing winter. Then you have Haruki representing spring. You have Akihiko representing fall, and you have Uenoyama in summer. And I really love, they have, like I was trying to say in the reaction on Twitter, I saw that they have the actual panels for sale that you can buy it's like an acrylic see-through panel with a light behind it. But they have one for Akihiko for spring or autumn, and Haruki for spring. I really love the one of Uenoyama and Mafuyu where they're connected with their hands, like, parallel each other and connected with the music, the earbuds. I really love it. It's really pretty. But yeah, and then them begging, and it's wonderful. And of course, Haruki's like, I'm sorry, and Mafuyu's like, congratulations, which it's kind of funny. It's sort of paralleling when Mafuyu and Sato announced them being a couple. Haruki was like, no, and Akiko was like, congratulations. So it's a nice little parallel. But that was so sweet. That was so sweet. It was not long enough. It was not long enough. Darn it. So yeah, I'm so excited of all the given content that we've got this year. We got the live action series. We got the movie in the spring. We got this OVA this winter. The new volumes come out. Volume 6 came out in English just recently. So I'm really excited that Given has been so mainstream and so accessible to a lot of audiences, and it's become popular. It's become like a household name of manga and anime. You're like, oh yeah, Given, I know what that's about. Or at least you've heard of it, right? So that gives me hope that Kizu, going into 2022, can keep the manga going and can keep making enough content that eventually, maybe by summer of 2022, they'll announce us getting a season 3. I can wait for it. Or season 2. I can wait for it, you know? I think that as popular as it's become, they're going to want to keep putting more material out there. And the manga's so good that there's really a lot they can draw from. It needs to just be a little bit longer, because if you think about it, season 1 of the Given anime was 11 episodes, and it covered like volumes 1 and 2 into volumes 3, right? And the movie covered like volume 3 into volume 5. Like, it covered a lot. So ideally, volume 6, if they had a volume 6, volume 7, and had a volume 8, if they had at least volume 6 and 7 going into volume 8, if they were long enough, you could get enough for season 2. So I'm hoping that's what they end up doing, but we shall see. So this was really cute. I loved it. I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch, especially the Hiiragi and Uenoyama banter. My boy Hiiragi, he's one of my favorites. Hiiragi may be my favorite character in this series, now that I'm thinking about it. I relate a lot to Haruki, but Hiiragi, character-wise, may be one of my favorites in the series. At least when he's animated, it's fun. But anyway, I am curious to know your thoughts down below, what you all thought of this OVA. I thought it was wonderful, but I can't wait to get the actual copy and to get volume 7 of the manga. So in the meantime, I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'm going to start filming stuff. I've got a free video that I'm working on. I've got the script for a free video, and then Janyu Yaoi. We're going to talk about Janyu Yaoi. I'll probably have like a little promotional video that's going to be out at the end of this month, and then have that free video out hopefully soon. So in the meantime, I'll see y'all again soon with more reactions. Bye.